Good evening and welcome to the August 13th meeting of the Weare Board of Selectmen. We start at 6:15 with a non-public to discuss a tax situation. And here we are at 6:45, and we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, and we'll open the floor for public comment. What?
Wendy Clark, Bogue Road. I have a couple of comments and then a couple of questions. My first comment is that I watched some of the recordings of the committee meeting, and I asked that you guys speak up.
Wait, oh, the board meeting?
Yes,
Okay,
sorry.
say committee, I'm like committee or
No,
board?
I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Board, okay.
It's very hard. You can hear Naomi perfectly fine. But everybody else, it's like a whisper. So just if you could, that would be very helpful. The other question, I know I read the minutes and it said that public session is going to be for comment only. You weren't going to answer questions. So I have a list of questions that I'd like to provide so that you can answer them at the next meeting if that you can't answer them quickly tonight. Is it still 25 signatures to get an article on the warrant?
Yes.
Where can I find the process for that? I did look at the website, but I couldn't find
Should be
anything.
town clerks.
You could try the town clerk. Not
You know-
sure that that's the right, I mean, that's where the petitions go anyway.
Okay.
Right.
Do you know what the deadline is?
We haven't got the deadlines yet
Right.
for
Okay.
town meeting. Now you're looking for the warrant, for the town warrant, obviously, not zoning.
Correct.
That's usually around January 1st, but I'm not sure, I haven't seen a date yet. I'd be
Okay.
happy to share it.
Okay, thank you. Is Bogue Road a private road?
No, it's town road.
You wouldn't know it. I've been here before, complaining about it. I'm gonna be a thorn in your side until it is paved. If it's not paved, it is neglect by you guys personally, sitting on the board, not allowing it to get paved, and it's gonna be a risk to the town. It is terrible. Has anybody gone and taken a look? And you all have decided that it doesn't warrant to be paved now or ever?
I have not
We've never said that.
come to that.
No, we've never said that.
That's what was relayed to me last week.
That's not
That it
true.
was ever.
That's not true. We never said that.
No.
So, last time I was here, it was supposed to be put on at least a 3-year plan.
It's correct.
That is not happening now, from what I was told, that now he has to go out and try to get a grant.
We get
Because you refused it.
We get a block grant every year that goes hand in hand with the warrant article that we put forward. And the town puts some into that, and the state puts some into that, and that comes up with a big kitty, and that's what we use to do road reconstruction and resurfacing.
Okay, so has anybody looked to see when the last time Bogue Road was paved? I know it
have
hasn't
not.
been in 20 years, but,
Correct.
so maybe you could look at that. And then maybe you could compare that to when the last time River Road was paved and compare that to the last 20 years River Road was paved. Granted, there's different amount of traffic, but I pay the same amount of taxes or the tax rate as everybody else does. I expect to get the services. If I don't, we're gonna have an issue. It's gonna be more of an issue from just me. You're gonna have this place full of Bogue Road residents. It's coming. You better prepare yourself. Again, the last time I was here, the road agent was here as well. Who makes a decision of what gets on that list to get paved per year? How does that happen?
It would be the road agent would make the final decision. Well, I mean, we have the final yes, but under the recommendation of the DPW director.
Okay, so he's recommended it from what I understand. Maybe not formally, Is there a formal process?
There is also other roads that he's recommended too. He'd like to repave all the roads in town.
Well, I would hope so. I mean, that's your infrastructure.
Right. And the problem that enlists right now is the fact that all these developments that were from the 80s and the early 90s, like Bogue Road, have been, when they were paved initially and they put in, the road was not brought up to a road standard. So who knows what's underneath that base right now?
You're going to have a sinkhole. It's going to happen.
Correct. So throwing top coat on it right now, just putting pavement on it, will make it great for 1 year.
No, it needs to be done.
Correct. It needs to be redug, and at this rate, it's, what was the number that Benji gave us?
About
Per mile?
$450,000 per mile.
The warrant article that we put forth is approximately 480. So that is why we have not done Bogue Road as of yet, is because of, again, that would be the one and only project that would get done. And I'm not trying to take away from any other road in this town or Bogue Road. I travel them all. Probably more so than the rest of them.
Your ambulance, correct?
Correct. Fire and ambulance, that's right. So I probably travel them more than anybody in the town. I understand the frustration. I do. 100%. But there's only so much money to go around.
But Bogue Road needs to be redone. I get
I
that
agree.
it's only one road, but
I
are you
agree.
going to wait for a sinkhole and losing a car in the sinkhole?
No. That's not the plan.
I wouldn't be surprised if it happens this year. You've already lost how many dump trucks going off the side of the road? And plows get ruined. And my husband traveling in the back of an ambulance is not a fun ride.
Nope.
It's bad.
I agree.
So what do I need to do? As a resident, is there anything I can do?
Rick, can I speak to this?
Yes, absolutely.
Wendy, I've kind of been brainstorming because I've seen a lot of the emails coming in. And I don't know if this is.
On Bogue Road?
Yeah.
Yes.
And I don't know if this, some of the information is not correct that people are putting out. Let me say that, number one. But
That's why I'm here.
That's
Right.
correct.
That's one thing. So it's gotten people really upset. Obviously, I have not been up in about 10 years and traveled that, but I will go up tomorrow. I just have not had a chance. But what I had thought about was, and I can't talk to the to the Highway Department director because he's not available this week. He'll be available next week. So I'm sure we'll be speaking to him as a board. But I was thinking that maybe the best solution, short term, that we could do would be to take that road, if the money's available, and just grind it, because it's gonna have to be ground anyway before it's paved. So if we could grind it, put some hard pack in there, some fill to hold it, and then grade it for the next year, or whatever it takes, if we can do part of it maybe next year or whatever. It's gonna have to be ground anyway. You'd at least have a smooth road. You'd be done with the big potholes.
It'd be dirt.
And
but
it'd be dirt,
right.
and they could put the calcium chloride on it in
Keep the dust down.
to keep the dust down during the summer months until they can get the money to start doing it. And it would make everything a lot better for everyone. And that's my thought on it.
And I can't speak to everybody else on Bogue, obviously. And I'm not saying that that's not an option, but in protection of Bogue Road, you would need to have a plan so that it's not like that for 10 years. Because this
right.
town
We
has
understand that.
Oh, no, we
likes to,
totally get that. We
table
totally
stuff.
get that.
Because I'm
No.
not sure on the mileage. I haven't looked that up yet. I don't know if it's a mile and a half around that loop. I'm not sure what the mileage is.
It's about.
A mile and a half.
Right.
So we're probably talking about $750,000 to do that road. So maybe we could do half of it next year, possibility, and the following year finish it up. I don't know, but just some.
So
Right.
when you do that, is it something that we could have an agenda item on your agenda so that people from Bogue Road can actually come and talk to that specific item? Because, I mean, I could use up this whole
Yeah.
time, and if we brought everybody here, you wouldn't get anything done. So I really
Right, well,
urge you
on
to
the-
add
on the other
something.
on the other side of it too, though, is I mean, I'm sure that all the residents share your same sentiment. So I think it would be a broken record for everybody to get up there. I mean, obviously.
But everybody should have a voice.
Oh no, I'm not denying that. What I'm saying is, if they're all here in support, and all the points that you have is what their points are.
I think she's also trying to say too, they'd be able to hear it firsthand, because a
Right.
lot don't have.
And that's where I think a lot of it is
Exactly.
lost in translation in the emails that you have. you know.
Perception is reality.
Right.
Yes, yes.
So,
And it would also give the director a chance to be here.
To be
Right.
here,
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
Exactly.
and I've talked to him, and he's been great, so
Right.
I have no
Right.
issue. It's just, it's
No,
time.
it's
Somebody's
time.
gonna get hurt, and I don't
It's
wanna be
time.
the one.
I agree with you.
I agree
mean,
with you
it's
too.
Yeah.
terrible.
Between that one, Pine Hill and High Rock, they're
And Lowell.
all rough, huh?
And low.
And
And
Lowell,
Lowell,
that's correct,
that's
yes.
right.
They're all, I mean, you gotta swerve around High Rock to get, so you say you don't go in the holes.
So how do we get it as an agenda item? Because I would, if we can do that, then I would let everybody at Bogue Road know and give them, I mean, the opportunity. If they show, they show. If they don't, they don't.
Right.
Can we do that in the next meeting?
We can set it
Our
for
next
this
meeting would be in 2 weeks.
Right.
That would be, he would be back, Benji would be back.
And you'd have time to get in touch with him, so he's not
Yeah,
surprised
he's
by
due
this.
back the
Yeah,
20th.
yeah, he would be
Okay.
blindsided,
No.
right. No.
So it'd be the 27th.
Mhm.
I just don't have a specific time, as you see, sometimes it takes a little longer, a little shorter. You know, typically we try to start for 6:30, and public comment's always first, but, so anybody that wanted to public comment, then we put it after that as an
Directly.
agenda.
It's after public comment. Okay.
Right.
Great, thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank
Thank
you,
you,
Wendy.
Wendy.
Anybody else for public comment? Okay. We will move on then to the.
Can I just have a question? Do you guys, are you on the email list so you see it? We do have an email list that goes out, or our website for the agenda?
I see it on Facebook. Post on the Weare, New Hampshire.
Oh, okay, Mike must do that. I think the library does that. I
Yeah.
was gonna say, because we don't have Facebook, because I don't have Facebook, but I just, we do try to send out the agenda as well. We post it on the website, we give it to Mike, and Mike does his. So I just wanna make sure that everybody gets their opportunity to get out there.
Mhm.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Mike, you're up. This is the department head committee items, the master plan update committee.
Yes. I hope everyone got the email. I tried to get it out late last week.
You guys have it, yeah.
So our request from the committee is that under town cover, you send this request or this application for the age-friendly community grant phase 3 to the Southern New Hampshire Planning Commission. And I'm here to speak to if there were any questions or directions on that.
All right, well, first of all, I think what we need to do is do the appointment, correct?
Yeah,
Okay.
So that I'm actually here, that's nice.
Right, so, so Mike is the chairman, has been voted chairman of the age community committee,
Age-friendly.
age-friendly committee that was passed via the warrant article in 2017. We're getting closer. It's a membership of 10, is that correct?
there's about 12.
12?
Yeah.
Okay, 12. And what we are going to do is, where Mike is not a resident, we are going to appoint him as, and he is obviously the library director, we are going to appoint him as our representative to the board, if that's okay with the rest of the board. Okay. So I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to put Mike Sullivan as chairman for the master plan update
As our representative.
as our representative.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Now,
Thank you.
now, I don't know, I talked to Naomi a little bit today. The master plan is kind of also in the planning board's realm as well.
Right.
So I don't know, I see that the chairman is here
He's here for the
for
next
other
item,
things,
but
but I would like to also recognize him,
Okay.
if he'd like to speak to this,
Sure.
before we make any decisions.
Yeah.
Craig? You're welcome. I'm sure you will. Hi there.
The planning board's looked at this master plan. We've talked about it at least the last 2 years. Had Southern New Hampshire Planning Commission come in, talk to us about helping to update certain chapters, the whole thing, how to go about it. As Naomi's aware, our planning board budget is pretty small.
Limited.
And the whole update, the whole master plan would cost somewhere around $30,000 to $40,000 through Southern New Hampshire, depending on how much work everybody else did, of course. But the planning board doesn't have $10, let alone $30,000. So we talked about doing, last fall, we talked about doing certain chapters. I think transportation was one, recreation, I don't remember now. And we were gonna try to get on a warrant article last year, but we were too late to even do that. So we haven't done anything since then.
Tabled it, basically.
Really, basically, yes. And then I saw it on the ballot, planning board doesn't have to do anything.
Now, obviously, I mean, have you know about this grant?
Yes.
That's out there?
Yes.
Do you support it?
Yes,
Okay.
I do personally.
Okay, personally, but
board-
obviously,
the
obviously
board
the board
hasn't
hasn't voted on it, right?
The board hasn't talked
But-
about it, right?
But as a
Yes, I
chairman.
did get an email from you
Okay.
sometime last
Alright.
week, or whatever, yeah.
I just want, myself, I just want to prevent any stepping on toes, that's all, you know, so, I mean, I'm 100% behind the committee that's
Yeah.
been formed and 100% behind the planning board. Like I said, I just want to make sure everybody plays in the sandbox. So, but,
I would also like to interject, I'm part of the committee, and I'm not speaking of myself when I say this, but this is a very energetic and very well put together group of people. I mean, the people that had volunteered, everybody is really enthusiastic about doing this project. So I would just, I am too, I didn't mean to say that, I wasn't trying to pat myself on the back is what I was trying not to do. So I really, I think what they've come up with, or what we have all come up with for the presentation to
I wish
Southern New
you- I
Hampshire
wish you luck.
Planning is really,
okay.
with Mike's direction.
Speak to that, actually, good point there. Yeah, there's not a lot of luck needed for this committee because, our charge is basically to do the 6 months of grunt work that happens before a master plan committee. And mostly collecting information, and what we could really use from the planning committee and planning commission. And one of the things that would really cost us is to have them come in and help us do a lot of the assessment, a lot of the surveying, walk us through the sort of group brainstorming sessions, those kind of things that you really want a pro to do. So if we get this grant, basically that's, a big chunk of what they would be facing when it comes.
How much money is involved in this grant?
No money, just their expertise.
Just their expertise,
Yeah.
okay.
That's what I like to hear.
Are there any other grants out there that might help with the money portion?
Oh, that's beyond us. I mean, what this committee's doing doesn't involve a lot of money, probably none at all, unless there's some expense that comes with an actual community survey.
And it's just gonna be paper and.
Yeah, I was going to say and nowadays, of course, one of the reasons you want to let the pros in is because paper only reaches so many people, and you want to be able to reach all the different segments of the community.
Right.
So that's what we really want them to come in and do. The real cost things, when you get to the real pros, getting into the nitty gritty of zoning and that kind of things, that's unfortunately going to be for them. After our committee. Our committee's only charged through February 1st. So.
All right. I'll entertain a motion for the grant.
Should I do it or somebody else?
I can't see why not.
I move that we accept the grant application presented by Mike Sullivan for the grant for New Hampshire Planning Commission.
Is there a second?
A second.
All in favor? Aye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now, Mike, is that signed by the chair?
Yeah, it should be signed by the chair. We checked with Goffstown, their Board of
Is that
Selectmen,
one,
and
there's
do the
only one
grant. So.
signature line, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So you need to authorize the chair.
Entertain.
I move that we have our chair, Ricky Hippler, sign the application.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Abstain.
Thank you, Mike.
Won't put John Hancock on. I should abstain. So, So, do you have a copy of that?
I have to put it on our letterhead, so I'll have to catch
Okay.
up with you.
All right, that's fine.
It's to go on our letterhead.
Just let me know when.
Yep.
Okay. Now we move on to the stone wall removal and work on a Class 6 road. Craig, again, shouldn't have gone so back so far.
Let me share a map with you guys first, so you might have an idea what we're talking about.
And this is on River Road and Horse Spring Hill Road.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, yes, I remember those three.
My clients, Jim Allat and Kimberly Johnson, are in the back row back there. They bought lot 168, 169, and 170 on Horse Spring Road between River Road and Barnard Hill Road, which I tried to show on this little GIS thing to give you a general idea where it is. The next page is 11 by 17 drawing of our driveway design, coming off River Road, going up Horse Spring. As soon as we can, turn on to the lot 168, basically. I use this just to show you guys where we're talking about taking some stone wall out, is along 168's frontage of it.
About how much stone wall, Craig?
Well, if you act like a certain person on the planning board did, when I say this number, you're gonna be surprised. About 90 feet.
I'm sitting down, don't worry.
Okay. The good thing is, relax. Relax. The next page is a picture of the stone wall. On the left-hand side, you can see the edge of an oak tree, which is the property line. The oak tree would stay, the driveway would curve in there. I know it's a beautiful wall. Please relax.
Do you have another copy?
Didn't I hand you one?
No.
You sure?
Yep. Thank you. I handed it that one. We have a minute taker.
So yes, I did hand you one. I didn't hand her one.
I see where you're going with this. That's
Sorry.
just ahead. I see where you're going with this.
Okay, the oak tree on the left is the property line. About 2/3 of the way through the picture, you can see a double maple tree. If you flip to the next picture, you can see the double maple tree on the left-hand side. There's a little pink vertical thick line drawn.
Yeah,
That would be about at the end of the disturbance to get the driveway through. The next picture shows a big gap on a stone wall, and not really nice wall. So the area where we're taking the stone wall would rebuild this section of stone wall. So we take out about 90, this is about 85 feet. And then the third and the fourth picture is backing up and showing you the area to be rebuilt a little better. The reason it's so wide is because we can't come off the road and turn 90 degrees. We have to kind of do a diagonal across the stone wall. That's why it's 85, 90 feet.
What's the grade up that way?
On the driveway,
Yeah.
10%.
Ooh,
Until we get into the property a little bit, then we can flatten it out a little bit. It's gonna be 10% from River Road into the
From
property.
River Road. Okay. Any questions from the board?
And obviously, this would also entail doing some work on the Class 6 road. The driveway itself would be part of the Class 6 road, so the selectmen need to improve the stone wall removal and the road in the Class 6.
Craig, can I ask a question? On the little faint line, right after 166, is that little bit of section is what you're talking about for upgrade? There's a little faint, diagram on page
dotted
2 with the line, right-hand side line to 166. There's some, is that part of the old Class 6 road? Right here. Unless I got really good glasses tonight and can see through it, but is that part of?
Class 6 road.
So, the
Oh,
Class 6
right
road
here.
right there. Okay, what's that?
That's
Mushroom?
That's just,
Just kidding.
That's just some topo on the lot.
All right. Gotcha. Sorry about
On the
that.
24, on the 22 by 34, you could really tell what it was, but
Okay,
yeah, it's just a couple 2-foot contour lines.
okay.
You can see the driveway actually catches up to grade about 150 feet into the lot.
Now, has this been to the board of fireworks?
Went to zoning board and got the variance for the driveway. We went to planning board and got a recommendation. That's how far we got yet.
I think the driveway standards max is 10%, right?
And it's gonna be over 400 feet, so it's gonna have to have a turnaround and,
Or hammerhead or whatever at the other
Right.
end.
So you're gonna remove the 90 feet of stone wall, but you're gonna replace it farther up.
correct.
Correct. Yeah, just gonna move it. This may be jumping forward, but what's the final intention? To build 3 lots? Or 1?
One for now,
Okay.
maybe 2 later. To get a third, we have to get a different variance,
Right.
because the shared driveway only allowed 2 houses.
Right.
And the variance is only good for 2 years, so there's a timing issue, because they're trying to build their own house, so.
Okay.
He's gotta get started on the first one to make sure the variance is good.
Yeah.
Before he worries
Substantial
about,
completion.
before he worries about the second lot. Let's get the
Right.
first one going.
Right. Any more discussion from the board? I'll entertain a combined motion.
I'll make a motion to allow the approximately 90 feet of stone wall to be removed near Horseshoe Spring Road and to be replaced further up on the property.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Okay. So that's for the stone wall only, correct? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
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 All right, now we got the Class 6 road update.
But you were kind of got conditions when you got your variance, right? You had the
Oh.
conditions of posting it,
Yeah, we gotta
then you
put a
had the
private roads.
disclaimer.
private road
disclaimer.
sign. Yeah,
And
there was
then,
like 6 conditions he put on us for some reason.
5. Okay.
The private road sign had to meet the fire driveway regulations,
Yeah.
had to record a disclaimer.
This is what was issued at the zoning board.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet.
Well, Chip drove upstairs to me. Sorry.
That's okay.
And you gotta work with Benji on the entrance to River Road. Yep.
Shouldn't be a problem. There's a cross culvert, there's a cross culvert across River Road just upstream of the driveway,
John, you want to say?
so.
Entertain a motion on the Class 6 road?
Make a motion to allow the building of dwellings off of Hot Spring Hill Road and which is off of River Road, subject to the conditions that the Weare Planning Board put on their approval.
Zoning.
Zoning.
Zoning board.
Zoning.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I still will get even though.
I'm sure. I know.
Okay.
All right, we'll go to the Chase Park discussion. Janie? You guys are next. You guys are next.
Are you Jay? I'm Naomi. This is for you while
you.
you're sitting there. Good. So, okay. Is that
It's a
your-
little different than the one you might have read.
the one I was shared before?
Yeah, there's a couple different, not a lot of different.
Okay.
Didn't you give us that one?
It's
I
a,
shared it, but she
Okay.
said it's different.
it's a little different.
All right, we'll disregard the other copy.
Well, no, you can. So I just changed it a little. It's not bad or anything.
Okay.
Right. So, my name's Janine Lynch, 412 Flanders Memorial Road. Hello, my name's Janine, and I've been a resident of Weare for 14 years. First, I'd like to thank you all for the opportunity to speak to you tonight. I realize how fortunate we are to even have a recreational area such as Chase Park. I feel that in 1940, when Horace Chase leased it to Weare, his intentions were that the public of Weare should be able to enjoy this recreational area. Times have changed, and local Weare residents are having trouble enjoying and are even avoiding Chase Park due to the overcrowding. I feel changing Chase Park to Weare residents only and their immediate guests would be a way to return Chase Park back to the enjoyment of the local Weare public. Many surrounding beaches, town beaches, have become resident only, causing Chase Park to become a more popular place for non-residents. With this increase of visitors and lack of parking, residents have fewer opportunities to use Chase Park. For example, Glen Lake is residents only in Goffstown, excluding their truck trailer parking. Uncanunick's residents only in Goffstown, Scobie Pond in Francis, Emerald Lake in Hillsborough, Veterans Park, to name a few more. Between July 1st and July 5th of 2018, Chase Park had 140 non-resident vehicles, 103 resident vehicles, and 59 senior, second car, and veteran vehicles, totaling 302 vehicle visits in 5 days. Considering most vehicles travel with 2 to 7 people in each vehicle, with 302 vehicles and an average of 4 people per car, that's a possible 1,208 people in 5 days. That does not include the 293 vehicles that previously purchased passes and the people that walked through the gate. Do we feel that this resident only and guest change would be giving people no place to go? No. There are 22 state parks in New Hampshire with ocean and lake frontage, even more with river access to choose from. Most state parks have ample parking and funding for ranger staff. For example, Clough State Park right here in Weare has 900 feet of beach and ample parking. And then could name a few other state parks in the area. Our staffing and parking for Chase Park is proportional to the population of our town. It's a great summer job for the local young adults. We should not be needing them to police some non-residents that do not have the respect that come with pride of ownership that most of the residents here have for our beautiful beach. If we're able to cut down on the overcrowding, we'll also reduce usage of water from the well and be less of a demand on the septic system, keeping the sanitary part of the park improving and fewer expensive $700 emergency plumber visits. If reduced income from the lack of non-residents is a financial concern, residents I spoke to would be willing to pay more for a season permit. I'd be willing to pay $20 to $30 a year myself to enjoy a beach that I knew was less crowded. More residents would likely return to using the lake again. At the April 7th, 2017 board meeting of Selectmen meeting, comparing surrounding state park entrance fees was mentioned. Currently, a non-resident day pass or resident season pass is $10 a vehicle at Chase Park. Compare an average carload of 5 people, 3 adults, being 12 above, so 14-year-old could be an adult, and 2 children. Greenfield State Park entrance fee would be $16 a day for that automobile, and Sunapee State Park would be $19 a day, and Clough State Park would be $16 a day, making Chase Park the least expensive and smallest place of these 4 being compared. I realized that at a Chase Park meeting on July 11, 2017, when the topic of Chase Park being a town-only beach was brought up, we spoke of the deed possibly having requirements of the public being allowed to use the park. In the oldest deed I located dating May 4th, 1940, parts read, have you guys already heard all this paragraph about the deeds and everything?
Nope.
Should I go over the, okay. So, The oldest deed I located dating May 4th, 1940. Parts read. Party of the first part agree to the lease to the town of Weare for 99 years for the purpose of establishing a recreational park, a certain point of land on the Weare Reservoir, provided that the town will accept the same and make provisions for the supervision of the same, including proper police, sanitary, and safety measures, and maintain a suitable fence. From the second oldest deed I found dated March 8, 1941, it refers to the right-of-ways, locked gates, and lifeguards being on duty. The third deed I located dated July 1st, 1944, reads in part, this deed is given for the purpose of establishing a public park, to be known as Chase Recreational Park. And it's further agreed that if the premises hereby conveyed shall cease to be maintained and used as a public park, said premises shall revert back to the grantor and her successor in title. The word public has many definitions, as defined by Merriam-Webster, of relating to or affecting all the people in the whole area of a nation or a state. Another definition of relating to or being in the service of the community or nation. Another definition, accessible to or shared by all members of the community. And as defined by Oxford dictionaries, open to or shared by all the people of an area or country. Public can easily be defined as the public of Weare, being a community or an area of a state. Keeping open to everyone in Weare would be keeping it open to the public, not for private use. I'm not alone in hoping that we find a solution to overcrowding problem at Chase Park, which we all want to keep as a wonderful local recreational area. Making Chase Park open to the public of Weare residents and their guests could be the right solution, and one I encourage you to consider. Thank you for your time. I have a petition over 100 signatures. We've listed Weare residents and permitted users because we do realize that if the Board of Selectmen considered this idea, we would need to define. I believe there's other people that have rights, like the renters on the lake have rights. And there's other rights that need to be seen as permitted users. Immediate guests, I mean, I don't know how that would be what the board, would hopefully define. I have references to any of the things I quoted or stated in the letter if you need to see those. And I have 9 or 10 plus many. Raise your hands, people that came to support this. I'm not alone. There's little ones too. There's little hands too. About 10 adults, 5 kids.
All right. And what's the board want to do? And we have a petition. We have seek legal counsel on this, as far as the definition of public. And you have it? You have that definition?
Well,
Or the,
I don't
or
know,
what-
she just said that their opinion that we should not restrict Chase Park to non-residents.
And she has also reviewed those deeds. Actually, how many deeds did she review?
I don't know, she went back to this handwritten one here.
Yeah.
Let's see what date.
1940,
I think there's 1912 on one of them.
so.
Oh, that's interesting. If it was leased in 1940.
Yeah.
Well, probably the original deed of the property before it was deeded to the town.
Oh. Well, that's
The other thing, just a quick, you mentioned that Goffstown has non-resident.
Resident.
Yep, there's a state law in New Hampshire that over 10 acres, you can't not allow public access to the water. And Weare Reservoir has 4 RSAs that apply to, because not every body of water is governed the same way. So on the official list of public waters from the DES, Weare Reservoir, aka Horace Lake, has 4 RSAs. 1, public utilities being allowed. Don't dredge and fill the water. Another is protecting of the shorelines. But the The other one that is the access to the public waters refers to boat access. So I believe Glen Lake allows truck and trailer parking for everyone to use the boat ramp to comply to the 10 acres. And I also realized that Chase Park used to do something similar and have the exterior boat ramp that was not part of the gate entrance to allow access. So I realized that compromises have to be met, but we're hoping that something can be done about overcrowding. I wanted to show now that Parks actually tallies how many people come through the doors. They hadn't had the software to do that before, that there's potentially thousands of people coming in 5 days, or over 1,000 people in 5 days. I mean, that's horrendous. When I was there on the 4th of July, there were 75 cars parked on the street. And I have petitioned with the police department and got Chief Kelly to sign off on this morning, actually, how many parking tickets have been issued on Reservoir Road. I don't have that document yet because it needs one more signature, but and also how many incidents. I know there was an incident on the 4th of July. How many incidents the police have to report? Not what type of incident even, just how many times are the police called there. I mean, it's just, I've spoken to families that they don't go there anymore. And their kids want to, and they're not taking them because it's not as enjoyable. It's overcrowded. So even if it can't be restricted to non-residents, if the fees are adjusted, if something's done to reduce the overcrowding. I mean, there's only so much we can do.
Right.
But it's just something.
Now, is that something that can be adjusted at warrant?
I'd have to ask her, I don't,
Yeah.
because this is midstream,
Right. It might have to be.
and the season's over. in a
Oh, yeah,
couple
next,
weeks.
this
Right.
is next, yeah,
This is
this
next
is,
year,
I'm not
right.
asking for now.
No, and it's not gonna change.
I didn't
18.
sign up for the first meeting that was
No.
2 days after I saw Park.
no.
I realized this is
Yeah, this is nothing that's gonna happen. in
baby
18.
steps.
Right, but I don't know if, again, and we'll have to seek, legal on this, is if it can be, obviously you have the signatures, if it can be a petition article for the 2019 ballot. But
if it-
again, I don't know with
If
the
it-
way that the lease is written,
Right.
that I don't know.
Well, I mean, if legally we're advised by the town Laura, the town lawyer, if she's legally advising, that you can't stop non-residents, then the warrant would be for what? If we can't do that, there wouldn't be a warrant
Right,
for that.
right, and we would definitely have that answer before we
Right.
get to that, but I'm saying is I don't know if a petition article for 19
Right.
can override the lease that the town entered into for 99 years.
Okay,
That I don't know,
okay.
but that would be a good question for her.
All right, well, but I mean, what if something, in the meantime, for next year, because something like that could, take a while, may not even get on the warrant for this year.
Right.
Can fees, raising of fees, I know they meet every spring.
We can adjust fees,
And I know
yes.
you guys talked about it last year. I didn't look at all the minutes from this year to see about talking about, because we're definitely cheaper than the surrounding state
Right,
parks,
right.
especially if there's a few more people in the vehicles with the big SUVs nowadays.
And we obviously take recommendation of what Parks and Recs puts in front of us,
Right,
but definitely be something to look into.
so,
I'm trying to wrap my hands around this. So you're looking to make the parking area of the 50 spots, say that are there, resident only?
if it's an option within the deed, I mean, if that's an option, I don't know, something to help with the
Because I
crowding
think we only have
situation.
about 50 spaces.
Right,
And
And I
there's
mean-
10,000 people that live here, so how do we do that? First come, first serve?
right. Well, I know when you look at the actual specific, Chase Park fees,
Yeah.
bottom,
Yep.
once it's a capacity, visitors are denied. And I know that's not happening now. I mean, I parked on the street with the other 75 vehicles and I walked in, to go to the lake. So, and there's no parking signs. I paid my ticket. So it's, I did. So,
But walk-ins don't pay.
correct, I paid my parking ticket because I parked on the street.
I'm not asking about your parking ticket.
No, right, but,
I pay mine too.
so, yeah. It is, it's
Right.
$25.
No, but I'm just saying, so if you have somebody that wants to park at a neighbor's house,
Right,
they walk in for free.
Right.
So
Right,
It's
unless-
gonna be, that's gonna be a tough way of doing it.
And I don't know, I
Unless we
mean,
go per person.
right, per person, or walk-ins aren't allowed, like, I don't understand, I mean, if the state says we have to have boat
But you got
access.
walk-ins that live there that could be walking in instead of driving in.
Right,
So you can't not allow the
or,
walk-ins.
okay, that's a good point, so
Yeah.
then it would be, showing the license, I mean, as you drive in, you show your registration, so showing something that you're
I haven't
walking
been
in,
there since high school, so.
yeah.
There's a way you can do like a wristlet to show that you paid your annual,
Yeah.
like, that's, like, when I lived in Massachusetts, that's what we, the lake that we had, they had a little elastic wrist thing, and you just showed it as you walked in, and there are ways
We used
around
to
that.
charge people when I was working there.
They charge walk-ins.
If you walked in, you had to pay your $2.
Well, then there has to be a capacity issue. I mean, if the fire department can't safely get there, there's too many people, I mean, it's there must be, even for walk-ins, a capacity issue at Health and Fire Way. So I don't know,
Yeah.
Right. It sounds like, this is.
Because in
obviously-
Goffstown, they don't charge anybody. In
you have to
Goffstown-
get your ticket at the town hall.
No, you have to have your dump sticker.
Your dump sticker lets you park there.
That's your dump sticker allows you to park there from June 15th to September 1st.
And they have like, what, 12 spots or something?
Yeah, that's not very
And you can
many.
only park there, but anybody else, you can park year-round if you want to go on Memorial Day,
Right.
and you don't live there, you
It's
can
a
go.
certain time, right?
Yeah, because
Or if you have a boat and a trailer.
So there's your way around the public, because it's open to everybody else from September to April.
Even if it was
But
weekends,
it's only open to residents.
even if it was weekends, residents only, that type of thing.
But I guess what I'm looking at is 10,000 people. If we all want to go there, we can. So how do you pick that up? First come, first serve, right?
Right.
That's
How
how
it's
the way it
always
is.
done.
Like-
That's how it's been.
You mean like that day through the gate, or like the pass for the year, or they limit the passes, or?
No.
No.
that date's
You can't limit the pass.
Can't listen
because-
to pass. It's gotta be first come, first serve.
Yeah, that's how it is.
Which it is right now.
That's the way it is right now.
Right.
But they're not, well, are they gonna, they don't stop people though, either.
Well, no, they do, because I wasn't allowed in, and I got out of I pulled over, got out of my car, walked through, and it was Massachusetts.
Right, so they're not stopping people,
Hook,
you're
sit,
still
and
walking
register,
in.
dump passes, hook,
You're
like, hook, sit, dump passes,
Still
Right.
walking in.
all out of town.
Right,
But how
But
many
I
of those
couldn't get in my-
Massachusetts cars are camp owners,
Right,
camper
that's a
owners,
possibility.
campground?
Right.
Or
Right.
condo,
Well, they work for a company.
Possibly.
They work for a
Possibly.
company in
Also, but the
Massachusetts.
people with the hook sit,
You
yeah,
can't
they-
say Massachusetts, they come from Massachusetts.
yeah.
well, nobody's there
probably-
illegal now, they're all allowed. Nobody's
No,
illegal yet, they're all
They didn't
allowed.
have a be- they didn't have a beach pass though, so if they had a beach pass, they would have paid their $10.
Some
to the town.
residents get a day pass, as a matter of
Yeah.
fact.
Yes, you
It
can.
does happen.
20 people this year have bought a resident day pass.
So I think this is discussion that needs to be had at the park level. As far
Which-
as what we're just discussing in the last 2 minutes.
Which I did first, I
Right.
went there first.
Right.
And they said I had to come here next.
Right, and that's
Okay,
correct. So
yes.
but I think that, the what we need to do, and this is my own opinion, speak to the board, but, is figure out where this petition goes as far as today or 2019 warrant, or if it can't go anywhere because of the lease that we entered into, for 99 years, and then go from there. I think that's really gonna, dictate which way we go, because if it's gonna be a pass for the 19 warrant season, then everything's gonna be restructured afterwards. I mean, I don't think I'm wrong in saying that the
Right,
department's
right,
gonna be restructured
don't
afterwards.
change something now if in March it's all gonna change anyway.
Right, right, but I think we will know which direction we have to head as soon as Naomi contacts legal, and
She's on vacation till 20th, just to let you know.
so.
I mean, it sounds like restricting non-residents is gonna be a hard way to go, for a lot of reasons. And that's, and that's fine. There's still things we can do to help with the overcrowding.
Absolutely.
And restricting, like you say, first come, first serve is one thing, or, something, because it's definitely, even
yeah. It's
even
a
the fire
well-used-
trucks going down the road and just
Yeah,
different
it's a
stuff
well-used
like
area,
that.
that's for sure.
It's loved, and I mean, it's hard to see, that it's just so full that people aren't getting to enjoy it, and that there are plenty of out of town people buying. You can argue back and forth, but I mean, it was, there's 140 non-residents in 5 days, whereas resident season passes at that point for the 396 for the year, up to that date. But that 5 days was so let's look at this back again, hold on. I have one copy too I can give you guys. Yeah, so for the season non-residents, 305 as of July 5th, 305 non-residents have bought a pass. And residents, 396. I mean, that's, again, there's second cars too, 78. Over 50% of the people buying passes are non-residents. So it's first come, first served to who. And I realize we can't say no, maybe, if they're,
But their non-residents could mean they have a camper in one of our, because they can't vote here. Just because they can have a camper here and pay taxes here through the campgrounds because they're taxed.
They're not voting.
But they're not voting, so they
Right.
can't classify themselves as a resident.
and we could, right, and we
Yeah.
right, we can argue back and forth.
Oh, I'm not arguing, I'm just saying there is different, I mean, just to say that they bought a non-resident, that means
Right.
they don't reside here and vote here.
Correct.
But they do probably pay taxes because they have property here.
Well, if it's camp taxes, it's definitely a small portion compared to what the landowners pay.
Right.
Camp
Yeah,
taxes
but
would
we
be much
can't, I
smaller.
don't think you can discriminate how much taxes you pay to who gets.
Not
in first.
discriminate, just charge more. Just a little higher
Yeah.
fee for
No,
non-residents.
it's not easy is what I'm pointing out. It's not a one-shoe-fits-all.
Right.
No, and it would not.
Yeah.
I wouldn't expect it to be. It never is.
No.
Nothing is.
No.
If you think it is, you're kind of crazy.
Non-residents don't have a link to go to.
Right.
The campgrounds have pools and the Clough State Park and right. You're not
And we have that too.
turning right. It's
We have
open.
an option if we want to go.
It's
there.
open to
Yeah.
everybody.
Right.
Right. Yes, you can have that. I have an extra if you. I mean, that's from Karen.
Okay.
It's nothing special.
Thanks, Jeanine.
I just
Um,
have a comment, because it might be too simplistic, but why don't we enforce something that we already have, at least for now? You had a piece of paper that said.
Capacity. They right to refuse.
Yeah, so why don't we enforce, or you enforce what is already written, which would also help, you've gotta make it safe for the fire trucks, ambulance.
Selectman Meany talked, last meeting about there being an adult on premises because it's a tough job for teenagers to police.
Right, to police adults.
Start enforcing something, you're
Yeah.
going to see people start turning away to begin with, because
Right.
they're not gonna wanna deal with it. So your issue might be smaller if you had to fight to go to the next
Yeah.
level, but
Right.
your base could be enforce what you already have instead of making more and more laws. Make it
That'd be
complex.
preventing walking.
I don't.
Yeah, I don't know what
it says.
capacity. I don't know. It
Yeah.
just says visitors shall be denied entry when park is at capacity. So I don't know what capacity is. If it's
Somewhere,
parking
there must be
spots
something
or
that has a capacity.
There must be a number for the capacity, because at one time there were fireworks there. And you couldn't have that many people
Right.
there from shore, you know what I'm saying,
Right.
an overloaded amount.
That's my suggestion, is
Yeah.
start with what you have. I think you need to do more research.
Yeah,
Figure out
I've never
what
seen
you
capacity. I
have
took
and
capacity as the cars.
enforce
just
it.
a
I
word.
took the capacity as the cars because
As
they do
cars.
shut them off.
Parking
Right.
spots, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Right. You're right. Just says capacity. Doesn't
Yeah.
say
Could be
of
assumption.
cars or
Doesn't say
people.
people or cars, right?
Right.
Right.
Or what the number is. All right, so I guess at this point, we wait to hear
Yes.
if it moves to a warrant article, but it's still, an option, like you said, for rates to be adjusted,
Yes.
maybe to help something, to help reduce, I mean, if it's a little, if there's less expensive options around, maybe we'd see a little less
Yes.
proportionalized to the parking and the amount of beach that we have, you know?
Now there's no more argument.
All right,
I don't know.
no, don't worry.
Who would set a capacity, like if it could be a person capacity?
I don't know. I don't know who it's.
I don't know, because then if you want to sit down, do you want to stand up at the beach? Do you want to sit down? Do you want to measure it like cemetery? All that
The
crap.
fire department must
I
have
was
to,
gonna say,
Yeah,
it's a
I know.
capacity
Well,
for
there's
this
capacity
room.
for this room because of the
Square footage.
Square footage, but
Right.
but I
Right.
don't know if you put that.
You could exceed it.
I don't know if you can put that on
No,
a,
no,
on a
sand.
beach.
I don't know if you
Yeah.
can.
got square footage, it's got
I mean,
acreage.
if you go to the ocean,
Right.
it's not restricted.
No.
I don't,
Right.
I don't know how you
That's
cap it.
that's a lot of land at the ocean. It's a state park. All right. Anyway, so this is all right. I mean, when I went to the Parks and Recs meeting, a few of them hadn't even really heard that there was an overcrowding problem. You know, that was what would surprise me. One or two had, had heard a couple things. So I wanted to make sure that even if it's gonna be, a long road or something gets done, that people see
Right.
that there's a crowding issue.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks, Janine.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. Okay. We will now move on to the tax deed, what?
St. Jean's here.
Yes, tax deed property discussion with the St. Jean's.
Hi, Jay St. Jean,
Jim St. Jean.
Yes.
St. Jean Auctioneers, Epping, New Hampshire. We'll stay right here if that's okay, or if
It's
you
fine with
want
me.
up there. We can talk about it.
Yeah.
So I'll just start. What I did with them, and I gave you guys the same copies, is we went through this list a few months ago.
Yes.
So what I provided them with was what you told me to, yes, go to auction with. So I provided them with the property card, same as you guys. I provided them with the map of the area. Just a snapshot, which this is all available on our website.
That's correct.
You can do that. And then I provided him through the registry, I made a copy of the deed, which really is the tax deed, but on some cases, you'll see I also included the deed prior. Yeah,
I saw
yeah,
that.
so the
Very
ones that I could, so, but I do have a concern, because there's a couple on here I'd just like to talk about with the board, Jay, if you don't mind.
Sure.
There's a couple of, or I guess before I jump into that, what's the process, which, I guess, could you lay out your process for me?
Sure.
Because there's some parcels on here that literally are this big and this long on the map, and you aren't gonna sell anything that little narrow strip.
Right.
So is it a waste?
what I
I guess
was
what I'm
They may be
asking.
landlocked. I mean, are we gonna be able to find them, first of all?
Well, some of them are gonna be non-buildable.
Right,
Yeah.
but there are probably at least 2 or 3 or maybe 4 butters for each of those parcels.
Yeah, that's
They
all.
Somebody
want
might
those
want that
pieces.
extra pieces.
Yeah.
Okay. So could you do me a favor and go up to the microphone and tell us the process, just so everybody at home knows?
Just so everybody at home can hear it.
Sorry, I'm taking over.
Okay. The process, I mean, there's 22 parcels, I think. I'm just not sure of where you're at,
Okay.
in the scope of things with these.
Okay.
Are they past the 3 years?
The first, the 1, 2, 3, probably the Mountain Road one is ready and free to go. That's been 3 years.
Okay.
The River Road, the North Stark Highway, and the New Road are 2 years old.
Okay.
So those they've been given a 90-day notice,
When did that go out, Naomi?
July 1st.
Okay.
They had till September 30th to pay us. And you guys the auction's set for the 27th.
27th of
Yep.
October. So this list will probably pare down a little bit, I would think.
That's what I'm thinking,
Okay.
yeah.
Because the intention here, of course,
Mhm.
is you don't want to take anybody's property if you
Nope.
don't have
Right.
No,
to.
we don't.
Right.
You want to work with everybody if you can, but you've also got to get these back on the tax rolls.
Mm-hmm.
So what we would do, I mean, I would defer to Naomi as far as which of these we can visit, which we should
Okay.
probably not visit, and just get an idea of value, and then maybe come back in, a month or so and sit down and just tell you what we see out there,
Okay.
what we think the value are, and what properties we think would be good candidates for auction.
Okay.
Then you as a board need to decide how you're gonna sell these. You're gonna sell them with reserve, or you're gonna sell them at absolute auction. I can tell you that probably 75 to 85% of the towns we work for sell them absolute, meaning no minimums, no reserves. The idea is to hire us, market the heck out of them, get as many people as we can, drive the price up, and get these back on the tax rolls so they're productive for the town.
Right.
So that's what we would defer to you on. After that, we take 4 weeks prior to, we get the final list, 4 weeks worth of marketing, get it on our website, do the display ads, do our one-page e-blast to about 7,500 people on our list, and mail to all the abutters. We'll need a butters list for all the pieces.
Okay, that's what I wondered. I knew there was one thing I was missing, the abutters list.
Yeah, but that's okay. We don't need those to you've got a confirmed list and you know exactly which properties
Yep.
are gonna go into the auction. And then you probably have a list in town of people that, come in all the time and say, you got any tax deed properties to sell? Any interested person, just provide us with their names and we'll make sure we direct mail to them.
Okay.
And that's pretty much it. We do it on a Saturday morning in a public location, somewhere that can, I mean, if you have 15 to 20 properties, typically you get 3 or 4 bidders per property. That's just an average, so you're probably gonna need a place for, 50 to 75 people.
So you hold it in one place,
Mhm.
you don't travel around?
No.
I was just envisioning, all right, everybody would go.
Everybody jump the van.
That being said, no, we do caravan auctions. Some towns, if
That's
we
what I
have 3 to
wondered.
6 properties,
Okay.
we will do them on site
Okay.
because we
But
like,
not with 22 of them.
no.
Okay.
We'll do them with a PowerPoint presentation and,
Okay.
do them in town hall and get
Okay.
everyone there, register them there, and
Yeah,
we'll
we
take
could
care of
use
all
the
that.
school too, probably.
Yeah,
I
I
just
was
knew
gonna say
ahead of
the school,
time. I
yeah.
can, yeah.
Yeah.
Saturday morning, 10 o'clock, we'll be out of there by noontime.
Can we get first dibs on the email list? This sounds exciting.
There's no beach rights.
Yeah. There may be. We haven't been there yet. That's pretty much it. I mean, we'd like to open it up to questions. I'm sure you have a bunch of questions. And I would like to take some time to go out and look at these properties in the next 2 or 3 weeks and then
Yeah.
get us back in here and we'll sit down and we'll tell you.
Okay,
what we
yeah,
found
we're
and
on
what
the
we
every
think.
other week schedule,
Right.
so.
But in the meantime, if there's anything, I mean, we do this, we've got, out of the next 10 weeks, I think 7 or 8 Saturdays we've got booked, doing stuff for different towns. A lot of,
There's more involved when properties are only 2 years out, right?
correct.
And we would be doing that.
hmm
Okay.
With our attorney.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
But we'd
Who do
have
you
to,
guys have? Mitchell
We-
Group?
We
or-
use Mitchell Municipal.
You do, okay. We've worked with them many times.
Now,
some
even,
have to go to the court, though. You have to do an account through the court or something.
Which one?
Well, some that are
Well,
2 years,
I mean,
right? Am I?
if it's a couple of years, I mean, and you do take them to auction, I mean, a lot of these are gonna result in overages. I mean, you're gonna get your taxes and there's gonna be,
Right, and
excess funds.
You have to
that-
worry about what you do with that money.
Right.
right.
Sometimes there's banks involved and there's mortgages involved and,
Mm-hmm.
Well, in some of these, I mean, I know that I don't know, is it common or is it 50-50 or for the reserves on, or like you said, or is most of them just do absolute?
most of them will do absolute. I mean, Jim can speak to the absolute versus reserves.
I'm just thinking, obviously we don't want to do this to anybody's house, but if anything, we're looking just to get, our investment back at this
Right.
point, so I just didn't know if it was
I mean, if
something
you're
that-
talking, I mean, they're all different. I mean, some of these I'm sure you've had for, 4 or 5
Right.
years and,
Right.
with the 18% and the fees and the expenses, I mean, you can
it
roll
starts to
everything
add
in
up,
there.
yeah.
Yes, it does, quickly.
Exactly, and that's kind of what I'm thinking. So I'm thinking some of the numbers bounce around my head, and I'm like, is it? I mean, is it common to do some with a reserve, or is it?
You
Or
can
all
do it,
of them,
you
or-
can do it as a public auction, and you can do it, what we do, we see sometimes when towns, a little skittish about doing it or the first time they've done it, they'll do it subject to town confirmation. And
Okay.
have 3 or,
Basically, at the end of it,
have somebody there on behalf of the town that can make a decision that day to approve or
And-
disapprove.
and that could be something we could do too.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that might actually be probably the best interest. of
You
us.
do them absolute, people know you're serious about selling, they know they go there, they're gonna buy something, they're gonna have an opportunity to buy something, it's gonna result in more people. But
Right.
that being said, we do them both ways,
Right.
Okay.
Well,
whatever you're more comfortable with.
You don't even need to do them at the sale to okay,
Yeah.
a sale.
Well, I think we
Wait till the
could.
Next board meeting.
Yeah, I mean, I think we could probably scrounge up 3 of us to do a a
If it's
Saturday.
only 2 hours.
Yeah, it's only 2
Right.
hours. I mean,
And maybe
coffee will last
have
that
some
long.
numbers in mind, we can talk about it beforehand,
Right.
maybe you can do it,
right.
closed
I
session.
mean, now that you have the list, you can also look
Right.
for it yourself.
And we're gonna come back and give you an opinion of what we think it's worth at auction.
Okay.
Not what it's worth, arm's length,
Right.
real estate, these are different.
Oh, absolutely. No, I
No
get it.
bank's gonna finance these, they're not gonna get title insurance,
No.
they're sold as is,
Yeah,
and,
cash sale.
right,
Right.
Are you gonna have photographs of the inside of these homes?
if we can
with
get
this
in.
So,
I mean, the ones we have access to, that you provide us access to, we'll be more than happy to show them. I mean, if we have keys, but some I'm sure are gonna be occupied.
Occupied
so
and
the
locked, yeah.
people that are 90 days out, that,
We have to go through eviction for a couple of them.
right,
Right. So when are we
So-
doing that?
We do that at the end of the 90?
you have to
No,
do.
we have to do it shortly. Some of them have reached out to come back with money,
Okay.
so
All right.
not gonna evict somebody that's gonna bring
That's
me
like
a
what Jay
check.
said. A lot
Oh,
of them are
no,
gonna come
that
back
would
and
be crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So there's some that we're still,
this will
the
get
letters,
people's
the
attention.
90-day
Oh,
letters
absolutely,
stirred some
yeah.
people.
Yeah, we've already seen the attention, some of them, yeah, so. But,
Which is what you want in the end.
Yeah.
You
oh,
want
absolutely,
people
right,
paying taxes.
right, sometimes people just need a friendly reminder,
Right.
unfortunately, so,
We'd love to sell them all, but we know that's not gonna happen.
there you go.
So if you do your homework and I do my homework and you come back in 2 weeks, is that the deal?
Yeah, what, it's around
27th.
27th?
It'd be before Labor Day or after Labor Day.
Yeah, either one. We
Oh.
can get it done by the 27th.
Let's do the
Okay.
27th,
Want to come back the 27th?
Yep. if we could.
GIS available online for the town, GIS maps, we can pull those. Or can we pull the tax maps?
You can, all our tax data's on.
It
So
is.
when you go to our online tax cards,
Mhm.
everybody's tax card comes up, and then you can flip over to the map part of it.
Oh, we can.
Yeah, if you need more than that,
We'll come in. We'll be around for a couple weeks.
okay. Because I'm not sure exactly how much access there is, but Wendy can help you get access.
Okay,
Wendy's in assessing.
that would be great.
Yeah.
Hours,
What's that?
regular business hours?
Yeah,
Monday to
we're
Friday?
Monday, Tuesday, Friday.
Monday, Tuesday, Friday?
He's already got them.
Oh.
He's got the
So
whole
you got-
package
you
that
got
you
a whole
guys
package,
do.
yeah.
Monday, Tuesday, Friday, 8
Okay.
to 4:30. Wednesday, 8 to 7. Thursday, 8 to 1.
Thank you.
Yep.
Anything else? Any other questions that we can answer?
For now. Do you guys get a better idea? We get a better idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I got a question that's kind of might be a little bit off. Here's a question for you. Say for instance, they owed $100,000 towards the bank, and they owed the town $10,000. If you end up getting $50,000 for that house, $5,000 go towards the town, and $45,000 go to the bank. I mean, is it divvied up that way?
I'm not an attorney.
But you
But
get what I'm saying?
the town is conducting the sale to get back their taxes. The town's gonna get their taxes first.
Okay, because I know,
That,
yeah, I know. The town got the taxes before everybody else got paid on my house.
Right.
But now, I know when my parents purchased their house at a foreclosure like that, that's how it was actually divvied up to the town of Dunbar.
Right.
But now that was also
That was a
70
foreclosure.
years ago.
Yeah.
right.
Bank foreclosure and tax deeded sale is two different things.
Gotcha, okay.
Yeah.
I just,
Yeah.
I was just throwing that out there, I didn't know if that was considered or not.
And if there's a bunch of equity in it, sometimes you'll see a bank will come in and pay the tax, pay the town, and, you know,
Really?
then foreclose,
Then foreclose, yeah.
to protect their interest.
Yeah. Then it's free and clear in their hands.
Then they're in charge.
Gotcha.
And then you get the phone call from them.
Yes.
There's a whole bunch going on there.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody's got their hand in the pot. So,
I don't have any more questions now. I just
I
was
don't either.
unfamiliar with how the process
Okay.
works.
board have any other questions?
I don't have a question, but I think what you need to do is to find out if there's any lien holders on any of these.
It always baffles me that they wait this long, but anyway.
What's that?
The
Oh, yeah.
lien holders.
Yeah, they haven't come forward.
I know, but sometimes they don't, yeah,
If you pulled an equity loan on your house, they do not monitor.
That's right.
That's correct. That's correct.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sure there'll be more questions, Jay.
Yeah, just,
Um,
this is new to us,
Alright,
Yeah,
so,
this is our first time.
in a long time.
write them all down.
Write all the questions down?
Oh, yes.
Yes, we can do that. All right. Thank you,
Any more?
We're
gentlemen.
good? Thank you very much.
Thank you guys
Thank you.
very much.
Appreciate
Yeah.
Thank you.
See you in 2 weeks.
Yep.
I got off easy.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Tonight, just wait.
Just tonight only, that's right. All right, now on to the other stuff.
Minutes.
Yes, the boring stuff.
Good night,
Thank you
guys.
guys for
Night,
coming.
guys.
Thank
Have a
you.
good night.
Oh, yeah.
See you soon. I'll be here for my Parks and Rec sign-in volunteer board.
There you go.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. We're done.
All right, meeting minutes
Yeah,
of the
16th.
7/16.
Okay.
Good night. See you later.
Good night, Wendy.
Night.
Okay, I think we got up to session.
Yeah,
Oh, I
no,
think,
we-
I didn't even
think-
put anything. We tabled it
Yeah,
all
we
together.
tabled them all.
Oh,
We
okay.
tabled the whole thing.
Yeah. Back before you leave the auction, there is some on here that have concerns.
Yeah,
If once you look at the pieces, you're gonna have a concern too, and I think he will too. There's some little pieces that we probably, and I did not include the Buzzell Hill one because Benji has asked that we not sell that because you're gonna be doing the bridge soon. And why try to fight somebody for an easement after we've sold it?
Right.
So we'll hang on to that until we
Okay.
get the bridge done. So that's not even in your package.
that's not very
Yeah, I
far,
think
right? That's not very much anyway. What is that? Is that 2 acres in there? Or
It's
no?
not, it's not even conforming, is it?
No, it's small.
Yeah,
And I think to get a building permit down by the water
yeah,
is gonna be difficult.
right. And
Yeah.
the Sewage system. and-
Yeah.
Aren't there some pieces over on 77 that go down to the river?
I don't remember them all. I
I
looked through
don't
so
know.
many.
Yeah,
All right, sorry about that.
it's okay.
Okay, page 1 of the July 16th meeting.
Okay.
Hannah, you don't have to keep track of these. I have them.
Okay. I know what this is. Where do I find this?
I didn't see anything on page 1.
No, I did these 2 sets, so I'll
Sure.
take care of these
Oh, I see
corrections
some.
They're off the hooks.
Thank
for a minute.
This week.
This week.
Yeah, next week they're yours.
Next week,
Yeah.
you guys are criticizing all my notes.
Right.
2, 3.
And I'll wait for it. No.
Oh. I don't know how
Alright.
to spell half these road names.
Page 2.
1, 2. Swearing in of new police officer.
Mm-hmm.
The 5th line down, just put an "in" before Weymouth.
Okay.
Yep.
The area is a secession, it should be session.
It's a session.
Okay,
Yep.
yeah.
I think I had those 2, and that's where we stopped.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, warrant, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. 5th one up from the bottom
Mhm.
of the last public comment, specifically for the bell tower.
Warrant specifically. Anything else on page 2?
No.
3?
Let's see, we have a company that, okay. 2nd line down, put has before proven, and then take out they are.
So remove is and go to has.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't even see that it was is underneath there. And the last line in that sentence, put and after company. The next paragraph, 1, 2, 3rd line down,
Wait a minute, I'm sorry.
Wait.
Okay.
I'm lost on the and.
Yeah, me too.
and company, and he encouraged the board to reach out. The
Oh, okay,
third
yeah.
Oh,
line.
okay.
Okay.
The 3rd line down,
Mm-hmm.
after, let's see, comment on both the SNHPC,
So remove that.
to remove the,
See where she is. It will be posted for the public comment on both.
On both the Southern New Hampshire plan and the Central
yeah,
Planning.
just
Right, just take out the,
5th line down in the department head,
zip code.
yeah, take out the last part of, it says, has a good base, and then and one that has a good base, it looks like you got it twice, maybe. And then the next line down, just underneath that, instead of with, I think it's which,
Which is all state asphalt.
mm-hmm.
You get that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the 2 vacant operator positions.
Yep.
The last full line, I think it's January,
No, we did it effective immediately, didn't we?
January of 2019, right?
No, I think we did it effective immediately, if I remember correctly.
What, the 1876?
Yes.
No,
1821.
no, 1821.
1821 during the 6-month probation period, and then moving them to
Okay.
1876
All
would
right,
be
yes.
January.
Yeah, I think what
January.
the starting, the date is in the wrong place.
Place, yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Because
okay.
it's Tony, to operator positions
Okay.
starting
Yeah, sorry,
July 20th
20th.
at,
Right.
see, the
Okay.
date
That
for
makes
July
more sense.
20th.
That
Okay.
makes more sense.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Anything else?
Nope.
Page 4?
Under tax deeding,
Mm-hmm.
second line down, just add in after come in prior to July
Did not
9th.
come in.
Right. That's all on that page I had, I don't know if anybody else.
5.
Under Gordon Brown Buildings.
Yep.
The second line down, Selectman Burdick has in her possession.
Position.
Okay,
And any more on 5?
and I'm all right with the rest.
6.
Yeah.
Motion?
I move that we accept the minutes of July 16, 2018 as amended.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Move on to 7:30 meeting. Manager Frank.
I don't know how you can do that.
You can start.
Was that the one you sent today?
Yeah, that's for lunch, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll just scroll all the way to the top.
Oh,
Did you do that?
Did anybody have a chance to read it?
Started some of it.
Okay.
You started it. I've done some more of it. I don't know if I haven't finished the last page, but
Do we
Okay,
want to move forward with it?
I did 1 through 4.
all right. And I've done 4 and 5, and I've got a little bit left to do on 6.
Why don't we wait till next
six
week
is,
then?
six
We'll
is
wait
only
next week.
half.
We'll go through it.
Okay,
So this is table
we'll table. it
Table
next
that
week,
one, yeah.
27.
Okay, well, that was quick.
Try.
Right. Okay, now I gotta find that manifest thingamajig in here somewhere.
Should be on the table. You have a copy of the manifest? That's gonna,
There it is.
in your email, it's all set
It was
up.
in
I
there
didn't
somewhere.
test it yet, but I got a verification. And then Beth will send it electronically, so you don't have to type it all like I used to have to. You just cut and paste that whole section.
Alright. Here we go with a mouthful. Alright. I'll move the order the treasurer to sign payroll and accounts payables checks dated August 16th, 2018, as included in the following manifest. A payroll manifest of $53,878.71 for weekly payroll, an accounts payable manifest of $31,582.34, and a John Stark Regional Accounts Payable manifest of $250,000 for a total of $335,461.05. The following manifests were previously ordered to be signed at the July 30th meeting of the board as a payroll manifest of $54,661.78 for checks dated 8/9, and an accounts payable manifest of $51,648.84 for checks also dated 8/9. As there is no selectmen's meeting scheduled for the 20th, please order the treasurer to sign payroll checks dated August 23rd, estimated to be about $75,000. Furthermore, to order the treasurer to sign up to the amount of $60,000 for accounts payables that cannot wait until the next scheduled meeting of August 27th without incurring late charges or interest. Reports and actual check amounts will be reported to the Board of Selectmen by inclusion in the manifest memo in the next scheduled meeting. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Naomi's done.
Yeah, so, let's see, I have a couple things. First of all, the Walker Roofing came by and picked up their check and brought a contract for the bell tower. 2 copies that, needs to be signed.
Is that something we gotta have the authorized thing?
It's 1 person on here. If somebody wants to look at them, they're what we signed before with them, used the same contract when they did the other things, but, he picked up the check for the 17/7, he's gonna put it on the schedule, it'll be the fall. I did talk to him about, giving us a couple guys to paint, and they're willing to do that, but it would be while they were here.
Right.
Okay. I don't have any estimate of when. The next thing, there was a discussion or a comment, or John had asked about recusals. So I did ask, Laura, and I guess basically, she said that no one would need to recuse themselves from a vote on whether or not to purchase a fire truck or on the fire department budget. However, anyone need to recuse himself if the issue is their own or a family member's discipline or pay. Obviously, there are tremendous shades of gray in between, and we consist along the way. Basically, I didn't read you the whole email because it talked about 3 members of the board being on the fire department, because that's not what we talked about.
Right.
It just said that there are times when selectmen need to recuse themselves. It's not defined anywhere in the statute, nor is there a case directly on point in which she is aware. However, the general rule is that any board member needs to recuse him or herself when he or she would be personally impacted by a vote. And then I read you the bottom.
Okay.
So it's a ton of gray area. But at the same time,
It's clear as mud.
it's clear as mud. Then, I do have the intent to cut based on the road, back on Jewett Road. Well, you cannot ask one person to bond like that.
Flat out.
No,
Why not?
there's a bond statute because right now he applied for an intent to cut, so you know he's gonna be out there. But somebody can go have their driveway done or anything else done that's gonna require heavy equipment, heavy trucks using the same road. So we can't be impartial, or whatever to him. What you can do is, Laura suggested we come up with a formula, which you're not gonna be able to this second. Come up with a formula to adopt. It says, because what she sent me was the RSA 3610 about regulations on bonds. Bond requirements shall be equitably and reasonably applied to other bonded vehicles using the highway. The type of commodity being transported shall not be the determining factor for requiring a bond or the dollar amount. So, the $150,000 that we asked for, you can't ask for.
Okay, what can we ask for?
So, basically, you're probably, what you can do is this, he's put in his new quantities, not ranges. He's put in the new quantities, and when a bond was figured based on quantity, but it would then be towards this bond, is like $10,400. So I had a long conversation with this company just to see what other towns do, and they always have to post a bond typically. What I'm thinking we should do is have a bond. I don't have an amount. Is $10,000, $15,000 the answer? I don't know. Because you have to be treating equitably, because that'll open up the lawsuit.
Yeah, absolutely.
The only thing we could do is, prior to starting, is take pictures, which I think we should. And they're all agreeable to letting us take pictures, and they're willing to work with us.
Because I don't think any obviously it's going to be any harm on the straightaway. Because this is up on Jewett, correct?
It's when you make, it's getting on.
It's going to be at the Perkins Pond corner off Mountain Road.
Yeah.
And it's going to be from the site onto the pavement.
Right.
So it's only going to be, 4 to 6 pictures each place?
Right.
You know, and then maybe Alpha, Perkins, and 149.
Right.
But
That's old pavement, though.
But that's all pavement, so I don't think, but again, I don't think it's gonna hurt anything to have pictures taken.
But I think if we take pictures prior to them being up there.
Yeah. Now, I think I might have asked, and I forget, is there some way to write it into, a way that basically that once we document the before, if there's damage post, that we can have them.
Pay for all damages?
Right, post a bond, obviously, as much as we can, that is supported by
I would think your bond would be no
RSA.
more than $10,000.
Right, so I think that's.
And then
what
take
we'll set
pictures
tonight.
and document.
But somehow put them on the hook if there is extra damage from them afterwards.
Yeah,
That would exceed the
this is where
10,000.
we don't have a formula today,
Right.
and you can't really by law hold these up.
No,
DRA told me that, because they have every right to, as a landowner, to do some cutting.
right.
Just because we paved there and he's the first guy through, you really can't.
Right.
But at the same time, I'm thinking that we've had a lot of correspondence, the office lady and myself, and if we took pictures and documented, this is the pictures before you started, and we'll take a set of pictures after, and after that you could release the $10,000 bond.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's what I'm just thinking.
I'm thinking
Because she
that's
said
true.
she's used to between 5 and 10.
Okay. I'll move we
So-
put a $10,000 bond on the Jewett cut. Is there a second?
A second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so I'm gonna send this back down with new quantities for signatures, please.
I move that we give authority to Chairman Hiplet to sign the contract for Walker Roofing for the bell tower repairs at the town hall.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Abstain.
Okay, now, I'll get to my two lists now. The only last thing I have, it's gonna be on there, is the re-roofing. We only got one bid. I haven't opened it
For the safety complex.
for the safety
Really?
complex. We only got one bid.
Is that-
North Point Roofing. So it's not opened, huh?
Yeah.
He's not, I haven't opened it. He lives in Weare.
Yeah.
The business in Goffstown, yeah. So it's on the list of the building part, but I don't know what you wanna do. It's not been opened. It's been delivered.
No, let's open it.
So, do you want to open it? Do you want me to call around for a few more? It's only for a number,
Let's open it.
keep in mind. Do you want to
Does the
open?
board want to open it?
Well, I don't know, do you want
Do you want
You
to try to
don't
get a
wanna-
couple more
a
bids?
couple more?
I mean, is it closed?
I can make, well, we just said bids are due at 4 o'clock. But at the same time, we did put the other things out too.
Out to bid.
Redid it, and I guess I could send it out to, I mean, I could personally call some of them if I Googled it and said, hey, here's our, on
Well,
the
I mean,
website.
this company met the obligation, so I think
Yeah.
we owe it to them to open it.
Yeah, but if, and accept it, in other words.
Oh, no, we don't have to disclose it.
disclose it.
Right, and we
Okay.
don't have to.
Oh,
I
yeah,
can tell
right.
you it's only for asphalt because he doesn't do metal.
Right.
So, if you want to open it, here it is.
But I'm thinking that somewhere along the lines, there's got to be a longer, a better quality shingle than probably what was used initially.
Oh, absolutely.
So I'm thinking that probably now we have that ball in our hand now of using a higher quality, if it's asphalt only type thing, than what we got on there right now.
Yeah, but it's not the shingles problem. It was, the roof was never vented.
Right.
So the shingle may have been a decent shingle.
Might
I
have
don't
been.
know that.
I doubt it.
Well, they
Probably decent.
they didn't
10
do a
years
very
ago.
good job, and whoever built that obviously didn't do it right, so.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I knew it was gonna hurt, and that's exactly what I thought it was. By the way,
Okay. I don't know what you're talking about, but
the
pointing and the nodding.
the person who brought it, who presented it to you,
Okay,
yeah, the individual from town.
Yeah.
That's what I thought it was.
okay. Well, it's only budget price, and I explained that.
Right.
Because we really, if you remember,
That's why I kind of.
when we,
That doesn't surprise me.
when we put together what we were gonna do in that capital reserve money, we didn't include that. We were gonna just, and I explained that to him on the phone, that, you know, I don't know that it'll go anywhere. We're kind of looking for some idea of what it would cost us to do that, so. Anyway,
Now with that said, oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, if we don't have the money,
I haven't seen the number, so.
do we wanna, I mean, I'm not saying what the number is, but do we wanna go to the CIP?
Yeah, there's enough paperwork there. I can fill
Yeah,
out the
there's enough,
paperwork.
yeah.
We got time.
Right. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen. I've been going there for quite a while now. And I don't think I've ever seen ice dams there. To be
No.
honest with you.
We went there
No.
last year.
Right, but I'm saying
Yeah,
in
no,
the
I
winter,
don't remember,
I've never
yeah.
seen an ice dam there, and the back usually blows is wind blown. and
Blown
there's
off
only-
anyway, yeah.
There's not much in there. There's some in the valleys, but I don't ever remember seeing any ice dams or huge long icicles formed there. You know.
Oh, I misunderstood you.
No.
No.
I'm talking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm sure. Yeah, it's all.
but over there, I mean, the main issue, or appears to be the main issue, is it's not vented, so the shingles are just curled right up from the heat.
They're getting hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know that there's a vent in the over the PD,
Yeah, I wonder if Walker
But I don't know about the-
Well, you know, I didn't reach out because I try not to,
Yeah.
but now if you're looking for a few more quotes, you're not gonna announce that one,
We're
then,
not going to announce this one.
I would try to see if I can get some other ones, because I can Google and just,
Yeah.
there's usually emails or websites.
I probably got the name of the company, I don't know if they're in business, that did the town hall, because they did a pretty decent job on the town hall.
I've been seeing, what is it, Century Roofing?
What was it?
Century Roofing, that's been advertising on TV a lot, and they seem to be in different areas of the state.
What
Okay.
about, is it Therian right here?
Yeah,
in town?
Therian.
Well, that's what I mean, you can Google them and,
Right.
and
Yeah.
I can see just in ours, it's still on the website, I believe. You know, the specs are on there, so they can
Right.
still go there, I can lead them down there.
Right.
Yeah,
All right.
Yeah, if you could, I mean, then we get a quote on the metal as well.
Yeah, because he said he doesn't do metal, so he only
Right.
quoted the one.
That was a quote for 40 and 50 year shingle.
Okay.
So, but
Wow.
again, I don't know if we, you know, when it all boils back down to it, again, like Sherry said, if there's an actual issue with the ventilation of that section, you know, and the other thing is too is I'm pretty sure that the over the trucks has two gable end vents as well. Now, are they forced vents? I don't believe that they are.
No, yeah.
I believe they're just wide open. So I don't know about maybe
Putting a
getting a vent fan up there.
thermostat in there.
Thermostat vent fan
Okay.
up there, on each end. You know, at the PD and at one of the ends on the
And then putting a roof,
right.
at the top, all the way
Okay.
Right.
across.
Oh,
Yeah.
I knew I was gonna forget something
What's that?
on the manifest. I had an issue with it.
I did too.
You wanna sign this?
Oh yeah, I'll sign that. Yeah. Let me sign that. Hey, let me sign that.
Okay, so in the front, tax deed at auction, you heard from them today. I thought that was a good thing to do. We still got some homework to do on our end. Master plan update committee, I believe, you know, they're off and running and they're actually pretty good, energetic.
Yeah, they seem to be.
I do,
Yeah.
you know, the one, the girl that's offered to take the minutes, the only thing is you guys are meeting on the planning board night, so somebody else will have to do minutes.
Oh,
Because the two nights that was picked, at least, that was shared with what I saw, was the exact nights of the planning board. So it won't be televised, and it would be upstairs, which Courtney has to be here anyway, so.
okay.
So those are the, you know, I know that last Thursday you didn't do it. I'm not sure you guys had done your homework and were done. But I know the
Yeah, we
20,
were finished on Monday.
yeah, I know the 23rd will be a problem because she can't be in two places because you guys are gonna meet at 7 and the planning board's meeting at 7.
Oh,
So, and I guess, you know, with the importance of it, I was hoping, which is, I know wasn't a fan favorite, but I was hoping you'd pick a night that you guys could use this room.
Mm.
Just
Try
for the
to
information
encourage
that's
that,
out
yeah.
there. You know, and I, so, I mean, that's happening, going along, we'll see where we go from there. You know, the ACO is gonna be an ongoing till he can find somebody, he's still gonna continue to run the ad.
maybe we could take turns.
Be in the ACO?
No, you don't want me as an ACO.
We won't give it to you.
Thank you. That's good.
This week, Beth and I are gonna try to sit down with the personnel policy and make the changes and try to come up with a draft we're hoping to for next time, but if not, we're probably gonna be looking at the Monday after we come back from Labor Day. There's just some little things that in there are not clear, that need to be more clear, and tie all the changes together. She's got some very good suggestions as to what she sees, and then we talk about the gray and the black and the white. So, we should see that. If you don't, the 27th, it would be the after Labor Day.
Okay, don't forget the
So
harassment policy
is that all the,
update.
all the
It
policies
would be
that we done?
it would be the harassment and the personnel, because the harassment is an appendix of the personnel.
Right.
Right.
And you guys can just change that. I mean, that's nothing. I
It's a
mean,
vote here.
what I would
Yeah.
do though, and I just want to be fair to everybody, is I would do the draft with the markup and then share it with the employees and tell them that we're going to talk about it at night. I mean, there's nothing I'm going to change, but they could come and talk to you about it.
Yeah, they have an issue.
If they have a problem or if something we're
think
not
they will.
seeing, but, I think that would be, it won't be done that night, it would be open for you guys, and then I'll share it with everybody, and then we can have a discussion maybe in another week at a meeting. You know my schedule for vacation time, but
I just put it in so I don't keep asking you, because I keep asking, are you in
he
office today?
texts me and he's like, "You off today?" I'm like,
Well, I can't remember. Well, I try calling the phone and it doesn't pick up, or it rings off the hook, and I'm like, all right, well, either somebody's in her office or
"We only
she's
got a couple more times to do this, and then once we're back, I'm back." So,
right.
but I am not gonna do the regular. I'm gonna change it up. It'll be Friday, Monday, and instead of Tuesday, we have somewhere to be Friday afternoon. So do Friday, Monday, Friday. Now I'm gonna turn to. Now he made me laugh.
That's what happened to me, and I started crying.
I'm gonna go to the building part of the agenda thing. Not a lot more to offer yet. The bell tower, we did accomplish that, so we've signed that, and he's hoping he'll do it in the fall.
Okay.
The Gordon Brown buildings, he will have somebody that, I told him we had the material, so he was gonna have them do that. I have his insurance certificate,
Okay.
so we're good to go there. The gazebo, I did type up a letter, just basically, and sent it off. It didn't go out until today, but informing him that we had till October. We were gonna keep it and stay till October 1st, and they had time to come up with some information.
I took a walk over there the other day at the gazebo, October 1st.
Well,
I mean,
I
it's-
haven't been over there, but the
It's bad.
pictures that were, Joyce put a picture in the messenger, and if that's really what it looks like, that's awful.
It is. It is. But you know, the balusters that are missing have been forcibly kicked out. Those
Oh,
are not rotted.
Oh,
Those,
no, they've kicked them. I've seen the kids do it.
That's mischief.
Yeah.
But the actual, the
Columns.
columns, that's all rot. And I took my knife and I went around every column, and
Yeah.
and every spot was like.
You can just put the
Yeah.
wood in with your finger.
Yeah.
You don't have to even
Yeah,
use
it's
a
not.
knife.
There's not a whole lot there, and I mean, if we need to again, October 1st,
Yeah,
they
that's fine.
need to have they need to have wheels in motion for stabilizing it. As far as I'm concerned, if not,
We'll replace it,
we're demolishing it
and then we'll replace it with something.
at some
the
point.
spring.
At some point. Well, I wouldn't go and promise that right out of the gate, but for our own protected liability,
Yeah.
we need to do something about
In the
that.
meantime,
I think it's cost prohibitive to try to repair it.
I'm with
I
you.
don't-
I'm with you, John.
Yeah.
I looked online and I found this company, Amish Country Gazebos,
Mhm.
and I got some. They're beautiful.
Yeah.
There's gazebos, there's a pavilions section, and a pergola section.
Oh, neat.
The pricing on these, I haven't really reviewed it that much, but the pricing on them was really reasonable. It was less than what
We were quoted.
we were quoted before, but I don't know if it's installed yet. And
18,000.
before, yeah, but, right, and that was good.
That was a decent price.
That was-
And that may be completely installed, I don't know if this is.
Right.
But these were, like
Under.
10,000.
Okay. Well, I think
So I mean,
Depends on the
I've got
size.
some
I think we cross that
information,
bridge
so-
when we get there, and
Right.
I think that there are other avenues other than
Yeah.
just the one we checked into.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Or that was checked into for us. But I think that again, if you guys get 5 minutes to go over there and take a walk
I
around
already
it.
looked. I looked at it.
It was given to the town in 1989. There's a plaque on the East Road side on the top.
It was
at
for the
entry.
225th anniversary.
That's correct, by the Historical Society. It was donated to the town. But again, I mean, wood's only good so long. It really is, and especially being out there in the elements with no protection. It's like I said, they to me, October 1st, there needs to be a plan in place before snow falls to shore that up, the roof up. If they want to maintain and repair what's there, and I don't know again if it would be by fundraising and or a trustee account, I don't care. But if it's not shored up for the town's liability, I think that we need to act at that point.
Okay. That's a nice idea, Jen. Those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've always
and,
liked those.
and they
Beautiful.
make and the Amish
Yeah.
do great work.
Yeah,
So
and the Amish did do the ones at Reed's Ferry too, so I
Yeah.
just,
Okay,
yeah,
all
they,
right.
Just not
they do
as
those, but
fancy.
this is,
that looks really nice.
isn't it gorgeous?
Yeah,
Mhm.
I like that. So
I think Benji said that he would be willing to do the foundation.
Yeah, which I think the DPW could do in a heartbeat. I mean, to dig it and pour the cement and everything. I
Yeah.
think,
Well,
you know.
put the cement post in the ground.
Right.
Dig it right out, about 4 or 5 feet, put some good
Yeah.
gravel. I mean, that's just filled in cello.
That's all it is. Oh, I'm
rubble
very
in
aware.
there.
They've
lot
done
of
it
stone
different
and
ways
stuff.
with this. They've put like a slab too on.
They might
Like
just put a
slab
slab
underneath.
down and rebar it, and, might be fine.
But they have all different sizes, just
Yeah.
like Reed's Ferry
Oh, this
too,
is
so.
this is beautiful stuff. And
Yeah.
beautiful work. And I don't think it would take away from the center of the town
No,
at all.
neither.
You
No.
know. But again, just for our own liability, we got to have that in the back of our thought process. That basically, if there's no plan in place for before snow flies.
Yeah, I'm still gonna reiterate that they shouldn't, needs to be a plan in place to replace it next year, and I think we're gonna need to get rid of it. And the town will do without it over the winter.
Yeah.
It's not gonna hurt anything for 6-7 months,
No,
and then
No.
replace it next year.
but with what funds?
I'm all for replacing it.
But with what funds?
Well,
That's where it boils back to.
Maybe a combination of them and ours, or
right.
Right.
our government fund, and
No.
that's something we can figure out budget season.
Right.
Right.
Right. I think that's got to be budget season discussion.
Okay.
Yep.
The next few items, we haven't really moved on many. The underpinning was
No.
still nothing. The roof, the insulation and the leak, I didn't have a chance to, I did see Dave, and that's when it dawned on me, I should have called him, to do maybe the office and the
Doghouse.
doghouse.
Mm-hmm.
The security camera, I have left the message with for him to
Prescription?
call me. Yeah, and we did get 2 quotes that I'm trying to tabulate and understand. But one was from Farmington, New Hampshire, and one was from Concord, New Hampshire.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
2 different companies of not even a bid on it the last time. So,
Perfect.
but they're this thick, and I'm trying to pull out what we were looking for.
Okay.
So I haven't done that yet, which I need to, because they also understood, they submitted their insurance with their bid, and they also understand that it has to be done by December 31st.
Okay.
So they both understood that, so I want to give them the opportunity to get started, whoever they decide to go. The roof I heard about, which I'll go ahead and I'll reach out, just really, I'm gonna Google and give everybody that's got a chance there a chance.
Yeah.
See if we can do something. The stone building walkways, it looks really nice.
Yeah.
Yes,
that's
It needs a
does.
little
Yes,
bit
it
of
does.
touch up, but it really
Yeah.
looks nice.
Yeah.
The DP guys
I'll call
did,
Joe tomorrow.
I don't remember, it was a day last week, I
I know,
can't remember.
I can't remember.
Yeah. I saw them there. And the food pantry, I talked to the trustees, and we're still working at that. It seems like it might be a little bit more hopeful. Linda's been doing some research and working with Terry, but we're gonna have a couple more. I've talked to the potential landlord.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna have another conversation.
Okay.
I just don't know how quickly things can pull into place. That's,
Right.
you know what I mean? I'm trying, so.
Right.
The mercy's out of somebody else. I mean, it's somebody else's property. It's all been positive.
Mm-hmm.
We just gotta get them, because the food pantry was closed last week.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, there was a note on the door, and then I got a message, and I don't know if it was illness or somebody was on vacation, somebody was sick. It was closed for the week, so
Okay.
we need to move on that as soon as we can. That may be an item that we have to further look at too with budget season and go from there. But the person that, they're looking to rent from was very, very wanting us to work together.
Okay.
That's good.
Felt
That's
it was a good thing for the good of the town,
Yep.
so
great.
I think it's gonna be positive. It's just, I know it takes time. I can't push it as quick as, but there's even, there's been some discussion if there's a fund there that we might be able to tap into, so. Other than that, I don't have anything more.
No. Okay.
No. But that's okay.
I don't have anything more, Ricky.
Okay. We move on to other business correspondence. Am I right saying that?
You read that one?
I think I was gonna bring up the Oak Road if nobody was here, but there was people here. Again, we received, 4 emails, I believe?
They're fine.
3 or 4 emails from Bogue Road. You're not forgotten about. not a lot of the statements that were in that were not true. As far as us not caring, raises for the outrageous raises for the police officers, no services being provided up there. We understand that the road is in bad shape. We're all gonna take a ride up there if we haven't already. Again, there's only so much funds to go around. My thought process is, and this will probably be after I'm off the board, you know, again, these developments that went in the 80s and the 90s are all in terrible shape.
Yep.
In one form or another of their own. Most of them need a complete rebed and start over. A lot of the maintenance paving that is done, like on Perkins Pond Road, is because that base is good. So I continue to think back to I travel Concord Stage every day. The state paved from Page's Corner up to Concord a couple of years back, and it went through frost heave season, and it was absolutely just as bad as it was the year before or that year. So it didn't, you know, I hate to say it, didn't use the, you know, the phrase of throwing good money at bad, because that's just what it's going to be. But again, I do agree with the Selectmen verdict about a temporary solution is to get the asphalt off of it.
Yeah.
And really, you know, put the grader up there, put it to work, fill in with good gravel for what we can do. You know, put the calcium to it for now. I don't know if that rolls back to where now it becomes unpaved to dirt. I know it's a temporary fix, but I don't know if there could be a petition now that for tax difference, because now it's no longer paved road.
It's still maintained.
Still maintained,
Okay.
yeah.
Whether it's paved or,
Yeah.
the only
Okay.
thing that the surface comes into play is if you were gonna subdivide, that's a development.
Okay. So,
Because an unpaved surface and a
Right.
paved surface is
Yeah.
two different minimum lot sizes.
but aside from the pavement, I know I got very good friends that live up on Bow Road, and she told me that, you know, that the DPW's been up there doing guardrail. There was a sinkhole by the circle. They fixed that the best they could. There was some ditching that they did for runoff issues. It's not that they haven't been up there, it's just they can't do anything with the
Surface.
paved section.
Right,
It's just not.
What is it, a mile and a half? Is that what I heard?
Approximately, yeah.
Say about
When it's all
that.
said and done with the circle, when it's all
Yeah.
said and done with the circle, right? So again, you know, I know that we kick up, and this is gonna be a discussion for budget season, but I know that we kick up 200 and change, 248. It may be worth trying to go for additional. I mean, because what we're doing, I mean, we've got, you know, all this paved road, and we're doing a mile and a half. We're not even.
It's not miles
It's
much.
not much.
When you got 60 miles of
By
road.
the time you get done half of it, what you've already done is junk again. So I think that you know, I'm thinking my own feeling, and I don't know what the board's feeling is. And again, this is going to be after I'm gone. But when the DPW garage is paid for in full, that
Put a
we
bond.
kick another bond out for roads,
Yeah.
for road reconstruction
Yeah.
of all these different, you know, developments and traveled roads and heavily traveled roads, and it's going to be substantial, and I totally understand that. But again, we have to think, you know, unfortunately, and hopefully at that point, once we get that lump sum done, then we can go to a maintenance of what we're doing. And not for nothing, but River Road Bridge is creeping up. We're on year number 3 of putting that
Right.
money away for that bridge, and that's not gonna be far away either, and that's gonna be a huge hit in the tax rate. So, well, I mean,
Well,
no,
it
it's gonna be
shouldn't
80% from them, and we've put our
20.
20,
our
and
24.
we should have pretty much what
Right.
we need.
Right. So I say that, but because we've been preparing and trying to be good steeds.
Right.
But again, that's going to be a large sum of money.
Which may be a good reason to, when that comes up on the warrant, is to speak to it that way.
Right.
You know, that
Right.
we need that money
I
to
mean, road.
continue being put in there.
You know, I think you know, it was good at the question. You know, the candidate question night was, you know, what do you see as the number one issue in this town? And both of Sherry's and I's question, the answer was roads. It was the road infrastructure. There's no doubt about it.
Well, I know, and I was really kind of encouraged today, because I know since I've been on the board, I've asked about a 3 or 5 year plan.
Mm-hmm.
And Beth told me today that she and Benji, and I believe Jack Dearborn, am I correct on that?
Yep.
They're working on one right now, so that
Okay.
I'm assuming it's gonna be ready for CIP, so That's encouraging.
It is encouraging.
So
yeah.
that's, you know,
Yep.
step in the right direction.
I think that you know, roads is number one, and I still think that, you know, I think right now it's a smoldering fire, not a fire that we need to put out, but I still think that the radio communications it doesn't need to be forgotten, because it's not really, I mean, it's improved some with the electrifying of the voter sites, but it's still not 100%, and it's still not there. You know, as far as being where it should be, it's just not there. So I think that's another, you know, focus that we need to have out there as a board. You know, not let it forgotten. It's still just you know, it's on the back burner still, but it's out there. The other thing is too is it's going to creep up on us faster than we can remember. Is the police chief position?
Yeah.
That's coming up. Yeah, it's coming up fast.
We probably should start thinking about doing it right away, because he's gonna be up in, December of 2019.
We have to notify in April.
8 months, you gotta have 8 months
Right.
prior
We have to
notification.
notify in April.
April of 2019, right?
Right,
Yeah.
Right. So I think that's something that we need to be discussing
yeah,
and maybe putting on the agenda as a topic to discuss.
yeah.
Because
You're gonna roll into budget season, and I think this is just my, I think our thought was, maybe I'm wrong, but you're gonna roll into budget season, and you're typically done in January, February.
and
'cause
then
you got deliberative
start
session.
hitting that hard.
Then hit
Right.
that, and you notify then, because it's March.
Right.
And then you start,
Process.
it was my understanding that through, you know, we would use him as an advocate as to where we could,
Yes,
New Hampshire
abs-
Chiefs of Police.
absolutely.
And all
Yeah,
worldwide
absolutely.
and wherever we can
I just don't want it to get
advertise.
forgotten about.
Nope,
No.
You
no.
know, that's my only thing is I don't want us to be
Very
in
good point.
April going, oh no.
Yeah,
Right.
No.
like,
No, but I
Too
think
late.
after your deliberative session, which is usually your first weekend in February,
Right.
we're kind of waiting until town meeting, but at that point, you've got time to start to do
But
that.
we
Right.
really can give him notice before the 8 months.
Oh, absolutely. I think
You can do that the first of the year, and
Yes.
have it done with, so that's not gonna be
Minimum,
forgotten or
Min-
missed,
but-
but, you know, people
but-
get busy and,
right. And that's where we're at. We're gonna start to get busy here. Is you know we start meeting every week again and start to talk about budget season and I just don't want that to get spaced and forgotten about. That's all.
Yeah.
So, other correspondence. Do I have any other emails?
you had
You shared
something,
'em.
You have to give
you
me.
had something you gave to Naomi.
we're gonna have another retirement next spring.
Mine?
No,
Oh,
Are you
I
retiring
think
next
so.
spring?
Chip.
Yes.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, and I think that's a great budget discussion, because I'm thinking, I guess I'll have to chat with Wendy a little bit too, is there's a lot of communities that do a, part-time building inspector. And maybe we flip the roles. Maybe we put back a full-time land use and part-time building inspector. Land use person could help Wendy. You could have two in one office, that would be a big help. Just bouncing it off. And then hire somebody on a part-time to do inspections. Just a thought. It's nothing you're gonna talk about tonight, it's just been a thought.
Yeah.
Because I think there needs to be some more administration, because Wendy's drowning. Wendy's, you know, all by herself
I thought
doing
we-
planning. I mean, she's doing all the permits, and permits are busy. She's doing all the permits, and she's doing all the assessing and mapping and everything else. So,
Good. Yeah, something good.
I wondered if we're gonna have it in public.
Okay, we can do that. The only thing I see that's in my recent past is the response letter that we got from Riverdale Road. Remember we got that
you
a while ago.
wrote back to them.
I did. Well, one individual, and then another one emailed me back with all the district quotes and bullet points. I'm pretty sure I forwarded that to the board. Remember that one?
No,
Okay,
No, I
good.
don't
doesn't
either.
mean much.
It was
You
from
mean, which
The only
one,
one
you
I
mean
got
for
from
the,
you was-
the
8-2.
industrial park?
8-2. Well, more so for the truck traffic down there.
8-2?
Oh,
8-2. That's when you and I corresponded back and forth about it.
Okay, not denying it.
Right.
What day of the week is that?
That would be
August 2nd?
August
Be a
2nd.
Thursday.
Thursday. Yes.
Yeah, but somehow or other, yesterday I hit some kind of button. My recent week and a half emails just
Oh, boy. There it all is gone.
Well, they'd go into your delete, so open your delete.
No, they ain't there yet.
Oh, they're not?
They're gone.
Literally gone.
Yeah,
Wow.
I can only go
No
back
idea
till
what
Monday,
it
I
is.
get that many
Okay.
emails.
yeah, I put,
know.
It was addressed to myself, Jan, and Sherry.
Well, I'll have to look it up when I get home.
But I don't know.
Was the right emails used?
It went to Esbert at where?
No.
So
Oh,
it
yeah,
wasn't-
they should have.
It should have. Okay.
Me too,
As
I'll look
long
it up.
as it's
There
got
was-
the where.nh.gov,
Right.
not where.com. Somebody tried that. I saw
No.
that.
.nh.gov.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll look it
Yeah.
up. 8-2.
There was a lot of there were Article 22 village districts was quoted
Oh, yes.
back and forth
Oh.
about agricultural,
Oh,
like
I
commercial,
remember
retail,
now
and
you
service.
saying that. I do.
I just don't want to get forgotten about. That's all. I don't know
Okay.
if that was forwarded to the planning board and or
8-2.
I think it was presented at the
Who is
meeting.
that
but
from?
right.
The zoning. Article 22's got to do with the village
okay.
districts, I believe.
Right. So again, I don't know what the solution is down there. I just don't want to get forgotten about because that's another one of our spots to
Okay.
keep an eye on.
And we still haven't heard anything back from the state on that B&B lane, I take it.
no.
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 Though I was carboned on a recent DES visit that didn't go so well in South Ware. There was some remedial action that needed to be taken.
Oh, you mean on top of Eastman Hill?
No.
No, further south than that. So, but like I said, other than that, but that was just more notification.
That was
than anything.
DES, yeah.
That was
It was,
DES with a notification. That's all.
Yeah, for an illegal transfer dump operation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Down in the same.
Down
Area.
down in that same area, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
So, but like I said, that was the correspondence I received throughout the week. Well, 2 weeks, I guess it is now.
Yeah, and the only thing he forwarded to me was a letter, the physical letter that got delivered to everybody's mailbox.
Right.
He snapshotted it and sent it to me, and
Yeah.
he was going to bring it. I think he has it at home to give everybody a copy.
Mhm.
The original letter, I only got a picture of it. It's little. I had to blow it up, and then it was fuzzy.
Okay.
What is happening at the top of the hill, on Eastman Hill? Is
Hou-
anything happening?
Housing
now?
development.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're putting in Cortland Ave.
Cortland
15
Ave.
or 16 houses.
Yeah. It's,
Okay.
You can only get 5 a year, so you can get 5
Yeah.
this spring,
Okay.
fall,
So it's going to be
and
in
5 next spring.
phases.
Yeah, it's phased
Mhm.
over 3 years.
So that the problem that they had a while ago isn't there anymore?
I think it's still there.
Well, I
From what what I'm reading from, what I'm getting from DES, it's still there.
But they don't regulate.
but right.
I know, that's the problem.
That is a problem.
Right.
Ricky, that's your package.
Maybe
I
that
know.
should be something, maybe that's something we should address as a board, that we put something in place that when we have issues like that,
But that should be a zoning or a planning
yeah,
issue.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, not us.
Not us, but
Yeah.
I'm just
No,
saying,
right.
meaning the town,
Oh,
yeah.
As far as
I don't know what I wanna,
pesticides?
yeah, pesticide issues,
Right.
well,
contaminated.
where do you draw the line? That'd be my next question.
Well,
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what. Again, my background is turning wrenches, not figuring out what's in the soil. So I don't know what's a bad number, what's a good number, what's an acceptable number.
well, they had data from 2006. That
Right.
was not good.
Mm.
That's all I
But
can
12
tell.
years, yeah, I'm just going to throw it out there, but 12 years later, I mean, people have hunted and taken deer off there and eaten them. I can't imagine that.
Yeah,
Well,
and there's
you know-
apples up
you
there
know-
still.
Do you
Was.
know how those people act?
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
No, but I mean, we
No, but
always
12
say-
years later, with no pesticides and a lot of rain and snow and everything else, I can't
Well-
imagine it's not
Yeah,
diluted.
the runoff and everything.
Well, it
Yeah, but it
goes
didn't a
into
new
the
well have
ground.
to be put in down there at that time?
There was a well up down, right on top of Eastman Hills that had to be replaced because of, I was told, because it was contaminated.
from there. That's why the thing shut down, I thought.
Well,
Yeah.
my parents had one because it was contaminated with road salt.
Hmm.
They were at the top of Eastman Hill.
Yeah,
But that was road salt, not pesticide.
But I think that's something
Yeah.
that this planning board
yeah, the
has to
planning
look at.
board's gotta
Yeah.
address it, it's
Right.
not up to us.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay,
Are we good to carry on
Yeah,
I
think
wanted to go
in-
into non-public.
in non-publics?
Yeah.
Okay, so Hannah, what we're
Under
gonna do is
A
we're
and
gonna go
C.
into non-public, and so then we shoo you out the door, and then we adjourn after, but you can head
And-
home afterwards.
And Naomi will send you the
And I'll
times,
send you the difference.
the votings and the
I'll
times.
send you the end of the meeting.
So I should just leave now?
Yeah, you're all done.
Yeah, you're all done for
Well
the night.
done.
Oh.
She'll send you more information.
It was
Well,
nice,
not
it was
so
nice to
tasty.
see somebody sitting there.
Yeah, wait, yes.
Just wait till you see my notes and
Yeah.
She was, I looked over and she was like, do you ask me to do this?
Yeah.
a little overwhelming.
Yes.
it
Well,
would
tonight
be.
was pretty well
Yeah.
jam-packed.
Is every night like this?
No,
Okay.
no.
Every
nights
night
are
it would be like
Some,
this.
some nights are worse, but not every night's like this.
Yeah.
That's
Yes, you can.
really that were much.
I'll make official ones for the next time.
Okay.
It's clear as mud, remember?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I'm sure
I'll move to on non-public under RSA 91A3,
Oh, cool.
Roman 2, A and C. Is
We're gonna shut off.
there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We will be adjourning after our non-public session, so everyone have a good night.